Welcome. At Middlesex University, we can recognise students' prior experience and their learning to help them gain credit towards their professional practice awards. At a recent seminar, 2 students told us their stories of how they'd done this very successfully in order to gain their degrees and further their careers. So, first of all, Marjorie, I wonder if you'd sort of introduce yourself maybe in your role and why you chose to do this, the work-based route to gaining a master's.
Hi everybody, my name is Marjorie Dunn and my current role at the moment is a clinical practice educator. I completed and achieved my master's in professional practice last year, and the title of my award was Leading Change in Clinical Practice. My journey here, well, at the time of starting my studying, I was a practice development nurse, so I was in a totally different role. I may not look it, but I'm quite old, and I trained in the days of schools of nursing. So my nurse training was completely different to the nurse training that there is today. So I was actually supporting nurses with degrees. And I had the experience to support them, but I needed to add academic credibility to my role as well. I wanted to understand the experience studying at this level, not just my own personal development and satisfaction, but also that I could be a better support to my nursing staff at the time, and I would have insight into the academic demands and standards that were required to achieve. So the work-based route was perfect for me. It was absolutely ideal. It allowed me to continue working. I was excited about studying again after such a long time being away. And I knew that I would be able to fit in studying with my work. So I pretty much convinced myself I could do this. And I felt like Bob the Builder, but I was Marjorie the student. Can I do this? Yes, I can.
Hello, my name is Yasmin Javanji, and I graduated a year ago with a BA Honours degree, Professional Practice in Early Years Education. And that is my background. I trained as a Montessori teacher, about 30 years ago. And my early years education experience has spanned over that time, and I've worked in a number of schools worldwide in various roles, Montessori teacher, head teacher, and the last job I had was a teaching assistant. As a result, I have gained extensive knowledge and experience, and am passionate about early years education. Since completing my Montessori training all those years ago, the qualification criteria have changed, and although I had all this experience, a degree is now needed and qualified teacher status, which I didn't have. So I just felt that I was just always second best, and that frustration led me to the work-based learning degree, which I took on, and I just loved it.
My next question was really a bit more specifically about what particular aspects of your experience you were able to gain credit for. So, Yasmin, do you want to start this time?
Well, I got quite a lot of credits, which I was quite amazed at, because a lot of people weren't sort of the Montessori, they weren't sort of very positive about it, but Middlesex University were very supportive. So I got, because I've done 2 Montessori trainings, just a foundation training and an advanced training. So I got 180 credits for that learning. And then my working experience, I had to prepare a portfolio of learning, my areas of learning, and I had to provide copies of evidence. So photographs, emails, records of meetings. This included an annotated CV and job description, and a review of my learning journey and how my learning journey developed over a period of time. So I just had to get all this together, and I was able to claim 210 credits, and for the whole degree 360 credits were required. So I got quite a big chunk from just my...
Yeah. And Marjorie, what particular aspects were you able to gain credit for?
Right, I tended to, because my background is nursing, so I discussed sort of key milestones in my nursing career that I was able to really focus on, and I managed to claim 70 credits, which contributed towards my master's. 180 credits required altogether. So I looked back on 25 years, and of those 25 years I looked at three areas where I worked in different roles. So the first one I looked at was orientating staff to a new ward environment, and that's when we had 3 hospitals combined together. I had 8 weeks to sort out the nursing staff and get them all sorted and write up care plans, etc. So that was a real biggie for me. So that's why I focused one of my claims on that one. Extending the role of the renal ward nurse was another. I developed electronic care plans for another organisation. And then with another job role, I standardised a healthcare training assistant programme. And my last one was educating staff on documentation, so I focused on 5 areas.
Did you actually produce sort of evidence of some of these pieces of work that you'd achieved?
I did. I used my CV, so that was able to prove to proof of my different roles at the time. I had articles, newsletters I'd written or had written about me or what I did, letters, feedback from patients, my managers, the chief nurse, induction information packs that I'd actually utilised, I'd made up, prepared for staff that were joining at the new centre that I was opening up, student staff evaluations, feedback from training sessions, study day timetables, lesson plans that I prepared or I'd attended, training certificates just like yourself, excerpts from hospital and national magazines I was in, copies of abstracts and posters, there's loads of stuff. And it was this opportunity really that realising I could collate all this evidence. I was really surprised. I was really proud of myself. I thought if that was somebody else, I'd be really proud, but it was me.
I'd be really interested to hear a little bit about that learning process, so the process of actually putting your recognition of prior learning portfolio together, what you actually learn through that process. You've sort of hinted on it already, Marjorie, so I don't know if you wanted to start on that one, because you've actually said how proud you felt.
Yeah. So it gave me the opportunity to actually spend time and reflect on each of the events, which I'd never done previously. You just get on with the job really when you're there. And I was able to state the situation I was in and what the event pertained to. I had the opportunity and time to examine my feelings in more depth. Of the 3 events I described, I had actually volunteered to lead those projects, so I actually realised that I like challenges. And that's why I liked writing about them.
So you learned new things about yourself.
I did, yeah, I did. I was able to question, like I said, why I did what I did, what well and what didn't, and why didn't it go so well? And what were the contributing factors for that? I sort of made a mental note as well to myself that for future, if I logged it up there to think that if a similar situation arose, then I would try an alternative way of working. So in fact, I documented this in consequent assignments I wrote on so I could actually see my growth in learning as a nurse, but also as an adult learner taking responsibility for my own development. And universities acknowledging this experiential learning and crediting recognition of prior learning had really boosted my confidence.
Yes, man, I wonder
well,
if
again,
like
it was
about the
critically
learning.
reflecting on my own motivations, my experiences, opportunities and career ambitions, which, as you said, we just sort of do the job and we finish the day and we go home. And
so it gave you an opportunity to sort of stop and reflect.
And also to analyse and identify the knowledge and skills which I've been using in my career for such a long time.
Yeah. Yes.
And people and events that have influenced where I am at, well, where I was then. And also it was very enjoyable reflecting because we forget how good we are. And I think this really boosted the confidence and just being acknowledged that you could get a degree from your working experience. When I do things now, I don't just sort of finish them, I sort of reflect back and, what could I have done better or that really went well. So I think reflecting for me has become
part and parcel of what we do nowadays.
Since graduating, how has this been able to achieve this part-time flexible degree? How has that actually had an impact on your professional development since?
With regards to my career, I felt a really credible practice development nurse. Even though I've left that job, I still have my past colleagues contact me for advice and support as well. So I really feel as it's empowering for me because I'm able to reiterate what I've learnt and also develop them as well.
I've raised your status a little bit, would you say?
I know, certainly at the bottom of an email looks really good. So when applying for other jobs, having the Masters certainly gave me the upper hand on prospective employers as I changed jobs and my prospective employers recognised its worth as well, I applied for the role of clinical nurse specialist in peritoneal dialysis, where I was potentially asked to lead on the development of a training facility. So of course that title, Masters in Professional Practice, Leading Change in Clinical Practice, certainly influenced their decision, and that combined with my sparkling personality, of course they offered me the post.
Yasmin, would you like to tell us a little bit about your sort of professional journey or since completing?
Well, doing this degree course, I was able to get my degree in a shorter time because I got so many credits.
Yes,
so it was 2 years pretty much.
Part-time, 2 years part-time.
Yeah, part-time. Yeah. And it just gave me a better understanding of what, why and how I've learned through my career. And it also improved my communication skills and my writing skills because I was quite rusty. Doing that first essay was like, but it was just wonderful. And as I got started, I felt got better and better, and I got more confident. And again, the importance of reflection, of learning. And also, the main part of the degree was doing a research project, which I did in my setting, and it was to organise the outside learning, because with early years foundation stage, that's a big part of it now. And so my aim now is to get qualified teacher status, and with having this degree, that will now be possible.